GenC podcast. Welcome to the GenC podcast. I'm your host, JP Jackson, and today we have Jerry Langenhoven. Welcome to the pod, Jerry.
Yo, JP, thank you very much. I'm super stoked to be here.
Very formal. Some of those that don't know you, who is Jerry?
Cool. So my name is Jerry Langenhoven. As you know, Langenhoven is actually a very Afrikaans surname, but I choose to identify a little bit more with the English language right now. So I say Langenhoven. I'm a 27-year-old dude, recently married. I am a mathematics teacher, which I love doing. And yeah, I'm a musician on the side as well for fun.
Yeah.
So that's basically me.
Link in the bio.
Yes, link in bio. Check it out. Jerry_Langenhoven on Instagram. Well done. Good catch.
So when we met in primary school, very good friends from primary school. And unfortunately, when we were in high school, you lost your mother. And that was kind of a point in our lives where it was pivotal that we had parental figures and those people that can guide us. What was that experience like, and how did that change your perspective on things to come?
Cool, good question. That was a crazy experience. So it also came at a super unfortunate time in terms of just what I was doing in my life. I was in matric and we were actually writing matric finals. And I remember my maths paper was like to be written maybe like 9 days later or something. And then I got the news that my mom passed away. So that was completely devastating. It was life-shattering. It is just a crazy experience. Especially like you said, at that age of being a teenager, it is really like it completely changes your life, the way you feel about things. But yeah, it was a lot to deal with. I think in some ways I was lucky and unlucky at the same time because I had a lot of difficulties and challenges within my family already leading up to that point. And I think that probably gave me a certain sense of like resilience and strength already, even at that young age of about 18, I think I was. And so that gave me the tools I needed to deal with the loss of my mom. And it was a really difficult thing. And I was just trying to be true to what I felt at any moment, whether it was anger, hatred, just sadness, pain, heartbreak, longing, whatever I felt. I was just like, I just sat with it and I was like, this is what it is. I need to feel this. I need to be honest with where I'm at. And yeah, I think I heard something last night in the Batman, actually. I watched the Batman at N1 City Cinema last night. And they were just talking
Don't
about...
give free plugs here. No one's sponsoring.
No, I'm going to give hard spoilers. Let me quickly talk you through the entire movie. No, I'm just joking. He was just talking about something about scars and pain and how it can really either make or break you. And I still resonate with that, or that resonates with me a lot. Where like if you don't deal with any trauma that happens, it can mess you up at that time, and like in the future at any moment it might just creep up and literally ruin you. So yeah, I felt it was important to work through that. In terms of how it affected me, I would say it made me like even more resilient. It made me more adaptable to situations. It made me, I would say, more fearless as well in a way, because like once you go through something that is that intense and crazy, there's very little that can actually scare you. It's just so crazy to have to work through that. So like everything else in life pretty much becomes like whatever. And so probably also made me even more like laid back and relaxed. So I would say that's how I got through that.
And I dove like straight into it because I feel like a lot of the times we go through something like that, or it just goes through the past down the road, and then we're like, oh, it happened and I just got through it. But we actually take so much from that. Like you get to take out so much information and people around you get to grow because they see what you went through, and then they're like, how can I use that to make me also better?
Absolutely.
And like you said, you now can take any challenge on with a smile, because that was one of the hardest things to do.
So true. And probably, to be honest, one of the hardest things I'll ever have to do, in my lifespan. I mean, there might be other challenges, but in terms of just how difficult and tough that was, I don't foresee there's like 100 things that can be that tough that I'll ever have to face.
Yeah.
Maybe if I'm reincarnated into a flower, I'll have a different experience. But that's for another time.
Another part. Flower hour.
One thing I forgot to mention also is that it changed my relationships that I had with people as well. So I think I became a lot more like no nonsense in my relationships. And I was like if you're not adding value to my life, or if this isn't a really like mutually beneficial friendship, then pretty much like I don't really need you. So I'm very welcoming.
Yeah.
Well, JP, we are very good friends. So you made the cut, bro. You made the cut.
For now.
TBD.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think I invite people with good energy and good vibes into my space, and toxic people I generally like steer clear from as far as I can.
So you spoke to being in matric when this happened with your mother. Something that also happened, which I don't have experience in, it was that you started in one high school and then moved to another high school in grade 9, grade 10. What was that like? Because obviously you start, whenever you enter a different space, you get a group of friends, and then you start creating this identity and now shifting that all over to another school. What was that like?
For sure. So that was quite an interesting experience. My dad was quite adamant that I go to a Christian high school. And the rest of us in the family were like, we don't know. It's also a very new, very small school. So we were like, it's not super tried and tested. So we agreed that we tried for 1 year. And then depending on my experience, I would now leave. So I went there for grade 8. It was a super small school. I had 3 learners in my grade, not class, grade, bro. 3 learners
so you
in
top
total.
10 automatically.
I guess that top 10 mentality just stuck with me all the way, But yeah, that was super cool. Very interesting. I made like a couple of friends, but the education also was shoddy at times a little bit. So when I got to Settlers, and then it was a toss-up between should I go to Fairbairn, should I go to Settlers?
Settlers.
The Settlers. Yes. And then I ended up going to the Settlers, which is really cool. And I actually had my first like conscious experience of a really good teacher there, because my grade 8 EMS that I had learned at the other school wasn't that great. So I was a bit behind. Yeah. But Miss Hines, so she's shout out to Miss Hines. She was the EMS teacher for grade 8. And she, like, I think within 2 lessons or 2 days, 2 periods, she just like quickly recapped what they had done in the entire year before. And I was just like, that makes so much sense. And then I was really good at accounting because she was such a good teacher, and she caught me up to speed like right there and then. And yeah, the amazing thing was on the first day, you're very shy. You don't know everyone, and everyone else is already friends. They already know each other, and I'm a year late now. But it's awesome. The first person that invited me over to chat to him, like I'm still really good friends with, and that was Mikhail. So we just chatted, myself, him and Daddy, and I also met Subhania on that day. So it was really cool. I don't think I took too long to settle into making new friends. The people were generally quite chilled, and luckily we all like from a similar socioeconomic background, so there's a lot of similarities between us. So that was quite cool. I think just the academia took me a little bit of a longer time to
but then you caught up, obviously.
But then I caught up. So that was
top 10 mentality.
Yes. Top 10 mentality strong. Yes, I know I'm talking to an overachiever.
No,
overachiever.
It's not about me.
Isn't it though? Maybe I should start asking the questions. No, I'm just joking.
You then decided to go to university. So unlike me, tried to have like a template in life and doing accounting, or do accounting, BCom accounting, honors accounting, that sort of thing. You actually went to study a BSc to start off with.
True.
So then you did an honors in engineering and then a postgraduate diploma in education.
Like, pick a lane, bro.
So what was that journey like? Because like I said, I came out of school with like a template and I was so focused on that's my goal. But you kind of studied towards things that interested you. So how did that work?
Yeah, I was like fumbling about for a while, dude. And I feel like there's a huge challenge on young people, like in general. Like you're 18 years old, you just finished school.
Yeah.
Now you have to make like this intense decision about a profession and you don't really have all the facts. So just like most people, I was just like, I'm just going to do what interests me. And I found science really interesting. I enjoyed it at high school as well. I did physics in the first year. And at UCT, that was pretty tough. So I then quickly changed my major to chemistry, which is still tough, but becoming physics was just crazy. Then I studied chemistry and geology for a while, and it was still quite enjoyable and quite interesting, and I really enjoyed it. And I then finished, and again, I'm not sure what to do now. So that's where the like science engineering hybrid honors came in. Where I did material science and I spent a year in engineering at UCT, which was very, very cool because it was more like real life applications based. And I like that. I really like that part of it. And then I left varsity and I found a job doing this and that. I was a manufacturing technician. Then I was a salesperson for laboratory equipment. And I just felt like personally, I wasn't making like a real impact on the world, which is what I felt I really wanted to do. And, I then just decided, look, so my dad was a maths teacher, which I know you're probably going to bring up anyway. And there was a bit of pressure on my family. They told me like, don't do teaching. Don't become a teacher. Like, you know, I got really good grades at school. I have so much potential to be whatever I want to be. And, you know, before, the generation before us, they could only do so many things. And teaching was one of those things. So it's like, why not, you know, do something else? And the fact that teaching has always resonated with me, that wasn't top of mind when I was 18. You know, I was just like, I need to take my family's advice. Then I was like 4 or 5 years later, and I was just like, look, that teaching is something I want to do. Like, I want to, you know, play my part in building society up to be better than what we are now. And education's a fantastic tool to do that. And I was just like, and it's also so interesting because my brother, I stayed with him for a few years and I was so awesome because he was a few years ahead of me. So we'd always bounce ideas of each other. And it got to a point in my young adult life, it was just like, bro, like, you should just do whatever you feel is right. Like that is essentially what, you know, being an adult is. Like, of course, if there's people that you respect, you know, you can listen, you can weigh it up, you can consider it. But at the end of the day, it's your decision and it's your life. And you have to take responsibility for, you know, your life and your happiness and your joy. So do what makes you happy. And so, that's when I was just like, look, I was working full time as well. And look, I'm going to study my teaching degree. I want to get out there. And that's how I got into it.
It's amazing. Like stories like that just like warms my heart that you finding your purpose, because we all have our purpose on this globe.
Absolutely.
For what makes you happy. And I do think the more people that get to see that, the better the world will be.
So true.
Do you think that a factor was that your dad is a teacher that kind of stopped you from wanting to become a teacher? Because I come from a family of accountants. My dad's an accountant, my brother's an accountant. So if I didn't study accounting, they'd be like, what are you doing?
What are you even?
So there was that old narrative that why shouldn't I do accounting? Because I was good at maths and that sort of thing. But I ended up doing accounting because I liked it. But again, that's my journey.
Yeah, for sure.
So did you feel like that was a part of you not going into teaching initially?
Yeah, I think it could be possible. You know, I knew my dad had done that for a while. And also being a teacher is stressful as well. And my dad taught for many years. And there's a lot of after-hour activities, a lot of marketing on weekends. So I was a lot to do. And also, it's not the best paying job in the world. So it's like you're working so hard and you're not getting paid that much to do it. But it is very rewarding. So I definitely considered my dad's journey. And I was like, I'm not sure, you know, if I want that. But luckily for us, we're in a time now where we have so much more opportunities, you know, which was being preached to me, but I just understood it in a different way, you know, and I can study teaching and I can also do more things. I can study educational psychology if I want. I can do my honors in mathematics specifically or online education, you know. We can really make our careers whatever we want it to be. And I thought of the saying, it's not, so I told my sister that I want to study teaching, and then she just immediately like thought of my dad as a math teacher and how like stressed he always was. And she's like, I think you're going to become exactly like, you know, our father. And I was like, dude, like I'm a different person, you know, and I'll handle it differently, and our climate is different. So she mustn't worry about that. And I also believe that like the person makes the profession more than the profession makes the person. You know, like you can choose a
bars here mid-pod.
just lay a beat down for me, bro. Yeah, like, you know, two similar, or two people might do the exact same profession and career path, but they get so much, you know, such different things out of it. But yeah, I also realized that I am like my dad in a lot of ways, and that's fine.
And that's,
you know?
scary.
It can be scary.
So scary.
It can be scary. Yeah, because obviously our fathers aren't perfect. No one is. So the fact that, you know, you a lot alike, they might be like, "Ooh, but I don't want to be like
I don't want to be that part of him."
Exactly. Yeah, and that is a valid fear. But I think it's better to know about these things and make conscious decisions about, cool, like that is a part of my dad that I'm like, and I actually like that part. So let me embrace that part. Or I don't like that part. So, you know, let me do away with that and get out of those habits.
Yeah. No, that's great. You also mentioned that earlier you explore your creativity through music. Has music always been an outlet for you just to get your like message across, or has it just been always just part of your life and who you are?
Yeah, so I would say it's just like always been a part of my life, just like your family loves accounting and numbers.
We
and
don't
stuff.
talk about numbers all the time.
No, bro, of course, you guys are.
It's not like we're sitting there, like, you know,
laughing about
the stacking bills.
The number of liquid drops in the pot and stuff. You guys are always accounting. But so my family is pretty musical. My dad like also sings and plays guitar, but my mom is a pianist. And so that was just always like our thing. So my sister and my brother also did music when they were younger, and I also played the piano for a bit, and then I went on to choir, and I always just enjoyed it so much. And music is just such an amazing, beautiful thing. You know, it can bring people together. It can make you feel a certain kind of way. It can make you laugh. It can make you cry. So I just thought it was always an amazing thing. And then I'm so glad that things worked out the way it did, because at the church I was at, I got to play in the church band, and then I ended up going to the Settlers, you know, and I was also a part of the bands there, and I just grew in my music, and it just seemed like everything was happening, you know, according to you know, God's plan. Drake.
So we're just gonna do some quick fire questions.
Cool.
Your immediate answer, just say it, right? Camping or chalet?
Chalet.
Why?
I wanted to say glamping, because
that's like a cop out.
I love going. That's why I'm just gonna say chalet, because camping can be really hard. Plus those bugs be all up in your life, those insects. So nah.
Motorbike or car?
Car.
Any specific one, or just?
So
you're more than welcome to tell Jody that this is the one. This is your opportunity to get it out there. This is my
opportunity. I think Jody already knows my like dream car that I'd want to drive. It's obviously not an everyday car, but just that one that when you want to skit, you know, you just go, is a Ford Mustang GT. So Jody does know about that. I believe she has a, you know, one of her savings plans is working.
I also like to think that with Kelly sometimes, but
yeah, we'll see. But luckily we both have these wives that need to get us through. So they must compete, bro. When Kelly does something, I say, Jody, did you see that? You know, and when Jody does something, Kelly, you raise Kelly. Perfect, bro. We got this.
Koesister or Dunkin' Donuts?
Koesister, bro. Classic.
Lovely. And then the last one is Gatsby or Wembley?
Gatsby. I've had a lot of excellent Gatsbys in my life. So I'm gonna
speaking from first experience.
Yeah, Full House is probably
where I wanna be.
I love them eggs and them steak, bro. Protein, that's what makes me so strong physically, mentally, and emotionally. That steak goes straight to your heart, cause cholesterol.
So, what we'd like to end the pod off with is, if there was ever a piece of advice you could give to your younger self, even though you've been through so much, what would that be?
The advice I'd probably give to my younger self is back yourself more, believe in who you are, and love yourself fully.
Full stop.
full stop.
Damn. Yo, there was so many. We had like so many great moments here. Thank you, Jay.
Absolutely.
For
Such a
coming
pleasure,
through and
Japa.
for giving us your energy. And we just love the person you are. I thank the Lord that you have made it here and you are thriving in your profession, in the work you do, in your relationship with the Lord and with your wife. It's just amazing to see, and keep your top 10 mentality.
Thank you so much, JP. I appreciate that. It means so much coming from you, a dear friend, and it's a pleasure being here, bro. Thanks.
If you like the content, like, share, subscribe, and we out. Peace.
Bye.